from RedZone Weather. This is a severe weather alert.
5:45 p.m. and we got our first tornado warning of the day for parts of Covington County in South Alabama. Good evening to you. I'm meteorologist Spinks Megginson. Glad you're with us. This is a tornado warning. It's the first one that we've had all day, and it's going to include the major population centers here in Covington County. If you are in Andalusia or Opp or anywhere along the US 84 corridor near the Andalusia Opp Regional Airport, you are involved in this brand new tornado warning that has just been issued. You can see the polygon there. And again, this just came on the board from the local National Weather Service office as we have a possible tornado very near Luango, right here in the far western part of Covington County. This is just to the west of Boggs and Boulders. If you know where that is, right there near the Sapulga River and Brooklyn, your possible tornado is right in through here, and it's moving just like that. In fact, what I want to do is show you this polygon. And Covington County is a rather large county in south central Alabama, but the polygon is specifically this red area. And again, this tornado warning is going to be on the board until 6:30 p.m. Current time is 5:46, so we got 44 more minutes on this. And the call to action is for Andalusia, Carolina, areas here near Rome, Luango, also Andalusia, areas near Horn Hill, also near the airport, the Andalusia Opp Regional Airport, also Iota and Rose Hill included in this tornado warning. Same thing for Opp. And so if I just called out your community, you are involved in this new tornado warning that is valid until 6:30, and we need you to do something about it right now. We've got lead time, and so you need to take advantage of that and get to a tornado safe place. And in just a minute, what we're going to do is go over to the graphics system and we'll put up what you need to do. Let's take down the banner and go ahead and go over there now that we've got that up. And again, for my friends in Andalusia, Opp, areas near Rome, also Luango, this is what you need to be doing right now. Again, you want to be on the lowest floor of a site-built structure, putting as many walls as you possibly can between you and the outside world. Best thing on this entire list is to put a helmet on. That greatly increases your chance of survival. Put something on your head. If you don't have a helmet, I know it looks funny and I know we say it every time, but put a cooking pot on your head. That can protect you from this possible tornado that's very near Luango right now, pushing off to the east at about 40 miles per hour. You also want to be away from windows. Can't be in a car, can't be in a mobile home. Let's go back over to LD2 and we'll show you the wide view across the region. And look, it's been raining like cats and dogs across the region pretty much all day. Very heavy rain has just come through Bruton, East Bruton, areas up here in Conecuh County near Evergreen, back up to Chapman and Greenville. And I realize that it's raining very heavily right now across the Pensacola Metro. But look, most of this line is under severe limits. The only convective warning that we have thus far is for central Covington County. In fact, let's actually go back to the LD1, please. And I want to show this polygon one more time. What I'm going to do is zoom in. And here's the deal. If you are traveling, perhaps you're on the commute home this evening, and you are on Highway 29. If you are south of Carolina, which is right in through here, out towards the Salon-Dixon Forestry Center, south of Carolina is okay, but perhaps you're traveling eastbound up to Andalusia. I want you to pull off at Carolina. You can't be driving on US Highway 29 out here near the elementary school and the Social Security office. Those are the areas that are going to be under the gun from this possible tornado in a matter of moments. Same thing here in Andalusia. All the major landmarks in Andalusia. You got Big Mike's Steakhouse, you've got Zaxby's, you've got Hook's Barbecue, you've got the community of Heath right here. Gant Lake is not included in this tornado warning. That's going to be on the north side, and so if you're at Clearview or Gant Lake, you are okay. This is not for you. The warning is to your south, but River Falls is close enough that I want you in a safe place if you're in River Falls. Also, no travel right now from River Falls all the way back over to Opp on US Highway 84. This is going to be US Highway 84 right here. This is US Highway 29 here. This is State Highway 55 that connects Andalusia back down to Florala. Same thing out here near the airport, which sits right in through here on the north side of 84. If you live within 5 miles of the Andalusia Opp Regional Airport, you be in a safe place now. You don't wait, and you make it happen if you live within 5 miles of the Andalusia Opp Regional Airport, as we've got a possible tornado moving in. In fact, let's go to the iPad if we can. And we'll show you a velocity view from the Eglin Air Force Base radar. This is actually the closest radar to this. In fact, Fort Rucker may even be closer. I think Eglin's going to be the closest one there. And your possible tornado is right in through here, and it's moving just like that. And so again, on that trajectory, Carolina up to Andalusia, areas out here near Andalusia Elementary School. That's going to be the core area where we have this possible tornado moving just like this, basically due east. And again, no matter where you are in Andalusia, if you have an Andalusia, Alabama zip code as your physical address, you do something about it, as this possible tornado is on your doorstep basically right now. And again, it's moving just like that due east. Let's actually look and see what triggered the warning here as we look at this high-res level 2 radar data off of KEVX, which is the local radar for this part of South Alabama. And no doubt about it, you see that couplet flare up. Let's actually back the radar frame up. And back when this thing, this possible tornado was over here near Boggs and Boulders and near Brooklyn, the possible tornado would be basically right there. And so we'll advance the frame forward. And clearly this couplet has broadened out somewhat, but I do think based on that signature that there could be very well some damaging winds perhaps involved, and there certainly could be a tornado at this point. And again, the tornado warning continues until 6:30 for much of central Covington County. Let's actually go back over to LD2 if we can, please. And again, very heavy rain continues across the region. Lots of heavy rain down here around Pensacola. I know we got a lot of folks watching down there. And just to show you this, again, no active convective warning for any part of northwest Florida at this point. But I realize it's been raining like cats and dogs in Pensacola, raining very heavily right now near Gulf Breeze, near the Andrews Institute, also out here near Pensacola Beach and Opal Beach. And that heavy rain extends across the bay up here along the I-10 corridor near Milton, near Pace, and up Florida State Route 89 and 87 up here towards Whitingfield, Milton, and ultimately Whitfield and Berrydale. So again, that's your heavy rain band moving through Santa Rosa County. Again, I know it's thundering and lightning and there's gusty winds involved. It's a nasty line of storms, and I get it. But the deal is we are here because of this. This is the tornado warning. And look, the good news is for Escambia County, Alabama, if you're in Bruton or Atmore, Flomaton, Porch, I'll be able to give you a severe weather all clear in a matter of minutes. We've had several reports over the last few minutes from Wabeek and from areas out here near Atmore and Flomaton of flooding over Highway 31. So we know that there's flooding based on 3 reports over the last few minutes. So you don't want to be driving right now on 31 between Atmore and Flomaton. Also, same thing up here in Conecuh County. At this point, the severe weather risk is basically over. Same thing up here in Butler, so that's good news. But again, the tornado warning does continue until 6:30 for parts of central Covington County. Let's go back over to the velocity data on the iPad if we can, please. And let's actually zoom in because, again, if you are in Andalusia, odds are you've got gusty winds right now. It may be somewhat frightening. I know when the line of storms moved through our location here in Bruton, we had several folks texting me saying that it sounds like a tornado. And look, if you're in Andalusia, you should have been in that tornado safe place 10 minutes ago. But if you're getting this at the last minute, anywhere in Andalusia, anywhere near Heath, same thing near Sanford, Horn Hill, Babby, near the Andalusia Opp Regional Airport along US 84 here, we need you in that tornado safe place as this possible tornado is very near Andalusia right now. And again, when you start seeing noise like this, that is mighty, mighty suspicious. Not saying that there's a tornado down, but there's certainly something going on in the atmosphere. Again, let's back this up and you'll see, no doubt about it, the couplet In other words, the rotation in the atmosphere based on this signature on radar is what triggered this tornado warning. Back here when the couplet was near bogs and boulders and near the community of Brooklyn, which sits right there near the Sapulga River. So I think that the couplet has broadened out somewhat, but as a course of least regret, if you're in Andalusia or along US 84 here, between, say, River Falls all the way back over to Opp. You get sheltered right now, and you stay there until we give you an all clear. That's kind of what we're doing at this point. Go back over to LD1, if you will, please. We've got an update that we can give you. This is going to be the updated polygon. This is from NWS Mobile. And a bit of good news. If you are back here near Brooklyn, Luango, right here, will give you an all clear from this storm. In fact, the severe weather risk is now over. We can say that with confidence as this line of storms has moved by. And so again, Luango, tiny, tiny community of Fairfield right here, areas out here near the Sapulga River, Brooklyn, giving you an all clear. But again, Andalusia, I'll be able to give you an all clear in about 5 more minutes. So hang out in that tornado safe place, have that helmet on your head, lowest floor, site-built structure away from windows and doors, and we'll be able to give you an all clear in about 5 minutes. Again, same thing over here. It looks like the Weather Service has trimmed out Opp, and so if you are in Opp proper, we're giving you an all clear at this point because look, the polygon has been trimmed back. And this possible tornado, it looks like, is going to pass to the north of the Andalusia Opp Regional Airport, which sits right in through here. Same thing at Horn Hill, which is right here on the south side of 84. If you're in Horn Hill or you are south of US Highway 84, just to the east of Opp, you are now all clear, as this tornado warning is clearly to your north. The Weather Service has trimmed you out, and this is the beauty of the polygon system. Again, Covington County is a very large county over here in south central Alabama. In fact, I'll move the map up just a bit. This is the entirety of Covington County right here. This is US Highway 29, that line there. This is US Highway 84 right here. And you've got 231 right there on the eastern side of Covington County. So again, the possible tornado is going to pass near or just to the north of Horn Hill and Babby. So again, Horn Hill and south of 84, you're okay, but if you're north of there, I need you to be in a tornado-safe place. I think Rose Hill has also been clipped out of the tornado warning. Yes, here's Rose Hill, and you kind of got a weird situation with the county geography right in through here because look, if I zoom out, I'll show you. This is southern Crenshaw County here. This is Brantley. You've got US Highway 29 here. Gant Lakes is right in through here. And you've got the infamous Gant Lake Dam right in through here. So again, Rose Hill is no longer involved in the tornado warning. It's to the south of Rose Hill and to the north of Opp. Tiny community of Eota right in through here. You've got the large tractor facility at Rose Hill. And basically from that tractor sales facility south, all the way back down to the northern part of Opp. That's where your possible tornado is going to be over the next few minutes. In fact, go back over to velocity because the frame has ramped up quite a bit on this latest scan. And again, your possible tornado is right in through here. By the way, same thing at Strawn. I haven't called out Strawn. This is very near at Strawn School, which is going to be right in through here. So if you are catching this at the last minute and you're at Strawn, I need you in a tornado-safe place, as this possible tornado is on your doorstep at Strawn. Let me check a few other things here and see if we've got any damage reports or anything like that coming in from Twitter. Current time is 5:59 p.m. And I tell you what, the big story today has been the heavy rain over in West Alabama. Go back over to LD2, please, sir. I'm joined alongside Bruce Thompson, who's executive producing this evening. We certainly want to thank him for his service. And I should mention as well, again, flash flood warnings do continue over here in parts of northern Clark, southeastern Choctaw, and also the northern part of Washington counties, and numerous water rescues are ongoing at this hour in parts of Tom. We've had several viewer images sent in from northern Clark County. In northern Washington County, we had an image sent in near Millry, and so we know for a fact that flash flooding is happening. And again, northern Clark County does continue in that flash flood warning for the next hour or so. It looks like the Weather Service has actually just allowed the one in northern Washington to expire, so that certainly is some good news. Let's go back to this tornado warning, though, over in Covington County. We'll zoom in over there. And the good news is, in a matter of moments, I'll be able to give Andalusia an all clear. In fact, I think at this point that if you are on the western side of Andalusia, over in this area out towards Point A, and also near River Falls and also near the Gant Dam, the severe weather risk is coming to an end. Yes, you've still got gusty winds, heavy rain, and that sort of thing, but the tornado risk has now shifted over in here through near Strawn and coming into places like Iota and Opine out there in the northeastern part of Covington County. And again, if I go silent just for a minute, hang with me as I'm trying to gather all the information here that we can get from our friends at the National Weather Service. Seeing several questions in our in-house NWS chat of folks asking for information about the rotation and things like that. And look, the good news is I haven't had any reports of damage. If you have damage or you know of damage in Covington County, if you would, shoot us a comment in the comments below if you're watching on Facebook Live. If you're watching in the RedZone Weather app, you can send us a message on Facebook, on Twitter, really across the board. We will get it, and we will subsequently pass it along to the National Weather Service. But again, this tornado warning continues for the next 29 minutes for parts of northern and central Covington County. Again, I'll be able to give you an all clear in Andalusia in a matter of moments, but stay in that tornado safe place. And again, for folks in Strawn, Iota, areas near Opine in Covington County, not Opine in Clark County. We've got two Opines, one over in Clark that's under a flash flood warning and one in Covington that's under a tornado warning. This is what I want you to do. Go back to our graphic system, if you will, please, as this tornado warning continues. Perhaps you're tuning in at the last minute here on RedZone Weather. We need you in the lowest floor of a site-built structure. You don't want to be in a car. You don't want to be in a mobile home. You want to be in a site-built structure. You want to put as many walls as you possibly can between you and the outside world. Best thing on this list right here. We need to highlight it. We need to do something to it, and we will before the next tornado warning. Put a helmet on. Put something to protect your head if you're in Iota, if you're in Opine, if you're in Strawn. The possible tornado is on top of Strawn right now. And again, we want you to do those things now as the tornado warning continues for northern Covington. Take me back over to the iPad, please, sir, and we'll show you this polygon, because again, what's happening, this cell is no doubt about it, it's cyclical in nature. It's cycling up, it's cycling down, and that's been the trend that we've observed throughout the day with these Boeing segments in this main line of storms that's happened. Again, we've got this one tornado warning, but I want to zoom out and show you this, because I'm going to draw a line here for you, and behind this blue line, those are the areas that we're giving an all clear to from the severe weather risk at this point. In fact, I'll zoom out even more to our entire region. And so if you are in Greenville, if you're in Georgiana, areas near McKenzie, Chapman, Evergreen, also Old Sparta, Castleberry, Brooklyn, Bruton, back down to Berrydale, Jay, Century, Atmore, Walnut Hill, Bratt, Pensacola, Milton, Pace. All of those areas, we can safely give you an all clear at this point, as the severe weather risk has come to an end. Yes, there may be some residual lightning and the rain is going to continue over the next few hours, but the good news is that the severe weather risk has ended behind this main line of storms that's setting up across northwest Florida and south central Alabama. Let's go back over to LD2 and kind of zoom in. And look, I realize it kind of looks like a spilled bucket of paint today, as we've got very heavy rain. This is a high precipitation event as we've got this possible tornado in the northern part of Covington County. And so look, no driving at this point on US Highway 29 south of the community of Heath. All right, so you've got Gant right here. This is where the Gant Lake Dam is, right in through there, just to the south of the word there on the map. And then once you drive a little bit farther south on US Highway 29, you get to a community at the top of the hill at the barbecue place called Heath. And so if you're perhaps driving southbound on 29 back into Andalusia, we need you to pull over at Heath. All right, so don't drive into this tornado warning polygon. Perhaps you're driving northbound on State Highway 55. Pull over just south of Andalusia. Again, you don't want to be driving in this thing. Same thing if you're headed northbound, basically from Andalusia Elementary School, and points to the east are included in this tornado warning polygon. Possible tornado is going to be out in through here. And at this point, I think we can safely say that if you are in Andalusia proper, the tornado risk has come to an end for you. I think we'll see one more polygon update here. The tornado risk is clearly shifting into the eastern side of Covington County, out here near 331, north of Opp and south of Rose Hill. That's your polygon. In fact, go over to LD1 and we'll show you the actual tornado warning polygon one more time. So again, this thing continues until 6:30 p.m. and we'll have to see if NWS Tallahassee picks this up for Coffee County. Again, this is Covington County here, this is Coffee County here. Once you cross into Coffee, you cross out of our primary coverage area, and you also cross into the NWS Tallahassee area of responsibility. Back here, this belongs to NWS Mobile. So this is the tornado warning that was triggered by the Weather Service about, 30 minutes ago. And by the way, I should say hats off to our friends at the National Weather Service. Go over to LD2, please, as they continue to issue these watches and warnings without pay. We are so grateful to our folks in government who are working without pay at this point due to the partial government shutdown. And we're not here to discuss, politics or anything else, but kudos to them for issuing the great watches and warnings today. And again, this warning happens to continue until 6:30 p.m. So we got, 24 minutes on this thing left. And the good news is the signature seems to be broadening out somewhat. And just as I say that, of course, it ramps back up. So take me back over to velocity. Again, it's a cyclical thing. It's going up, it's going down. And, that's the type of behavior we've seen with this line of storms. We'll back this up, and let's stop the radar right about there. That was at 5:36 p.m. So going on, 40 minutes ago. And this is what triggered your tornado warning back here when the cell was near Brooklyn and near Luango. And again, advancing it forward, it moved through Andalusia, and the line of storms is now subsequently over here in the eastern part of Covington County, approaching areas near Highway 331. So again, no driving south of Rose Hill on US Highway 331, and no driving north of Opp on 331. If you have to go perhaps up to Brantley or Luverne from Opp this evening, pull over, take a break, do what you need to do. You don't need to be driving in this possible tornado. In other words, this tornado warning polygon that continues for the next few minutes. And again, when you start seeing things like that on the radar signature, that lets me know that right in through there very well could be a possible tornado. Not saying a tornado's down, but that is a possibility with a signature like that. I think that the Weather Service is making the right call, keeping the tornado warning going over the next little bit. And we got a new update here. Take me back over to LD1 and we'll show you the polygon, because again, this is now a super tiny thing on radar. And once we get the update on iPad, I want to go back over there. But again, the good news is we can give several more all clears at this point. So again, Andalusia, doesn't matter where you are. If you have an Andalusia zip code on your mailing address, I'm giving you an all clear. Same thing at Heath, same thing at Strawn, all clear for you. If you're in Rose Hill, you were clipped out of the polygon about 10 minutes ago, but perhaps you live in Rose Hill and you're just tuning in, giving you an all clear. The severe weather risk has ended at Rose Hill. Same thing at Iota. Again, tiny, tiny polygon at this point, and the only community involved in this tornado warning in Covington County at this point is Opine, if I'm not mistaken. We'll zoom in And when you start getting at this level of the radar, these communities are super, super tiny. By the way, same thing at Babby, Sanford, and under the banner is Horn Hill on the south side of 84. Those three communities can come out of that tornado hiding place at this point. You got the airport out and through here as well, the Andalusia Op Regional Airport, and you are fine if you are near the airport. The tornado risk has shifted to the northeast. And again, Opine, Wiggins, only places really remotely close to this possible tornado. Tiny, tiny communities out and through here near Highway 331, which is there. But again, we are going to be here until this tornado warning goes off the board. And then once we do, the plan of action will be to talk about what's happening across the region. We'll have to see if NWS Tallahassee picks up this warning over here in Coffee County. And if it does, let's kind of look ahead and tell you what's going to happen if that does happen. So again, just kind of extrapolating that out, folks in Elba and New Brockton and areas here in Coffee County, those would be the areas potentially under the gun if NWS Tallahassee decides to extend the warning. Let's go back over to LD2. And again, very, very heavy rain at this point is happening in Okaloosa and Santa Rosa counties. Let's put the radar in motion over the last few hours. And this main line of storms continues to work its way to the east very, very quickly. What happened earlier, we actually had a training effect when the storm line was back in through here in Clark and Washington counties. And we've had several reports over the last few hours, not only of water rescues, but also some people had to be evacuated in the community of Coffeeville, which sits right in through there. And so very heavy rain in excess of 4, 5, in some cases even 6 inches of rain in parts of West Alabama. But again, the line of storms has subsequently moved through our region. And at this point, we can give Pensacola an all clear. The severe weather risk has come to an end in all of the Pensacola Metro. Same thing at Pace and Milton and Whiting Field. Behind this main line of storms, anywhere back this way, you're okay at this point. I'm giving you an all clear. Yes, the rain will continue. Yes, we'll have lightning and that sort of thing for the next few minutes. But again, that's your main line of storms. And once you're behind it, as we've been talking about all day long, you get an all clear. So Okaloosa County at this point is really the only county to go until this line exits our area to the east, over here into Walton County as well. So if you're in Destin, Fort Walton, Niceville, Wright, Mary Esther, Eglin Air Force Base, Duke Field, which is a part of Eglin, also Crestview, Baker, Milligan, Campton, Auburn, Florida, Laurel Hill, areas out here near Hurricane Lake. Those are your main areas in Okaloosa County. And if I just called you out, you're about to have a wallop of a storm. It's about to wallop you from the west here as we get a lot of heavy rain and a good bit of lightning. Go back over to the iPad, please. And we'll show you this tiny, tiny, tiny tornado warning polygon. In fact, let me zoom out to Covington County and show you just how small this is. It's hard to see the county on this view. We'll go over to a better view in just a minute. But again, this is a tiny, tiny tornado warning polygon for areas near Opine, just south of Iota on, US Highway 331 there, just to the north of Opp. So again, if you're in Opp, you are fine. This is not for you. This possible tornado is out here to the north of you on the north side of Opp, about to cross out of our area into Coffee County. And again, once that happens, much of Covington County will be in the clear at this point. Same thing up here in Crenshaw and Butler counties, all clear for those areas. No more severe weather for you. You can, go about your evening in peace. You are okay at this point, and that's what we want. I know a lot of folks have severe weather anxiety and that sort of thing, and so again, Butler, Conecuh, Crenshaw, Escambia, Alabama, Escambia County, Florida, all those areas are in the clear at this point, and no more severe weather is expected for you. We've got, let's see, 17 more minutes on this tornado warning. And go back over to LD1. I promised I'd show you just how small this tornado warning is. Look at that. That's Covington County, one of the larger counties in the state of Alabama, and that's your tiny tornado warning. Again, that's the beauty of the polygon system. Formerly, let's see, we're in, 2019, so 11 years ago, the Weather Service issued entire counties under tornado warnings. They haven't done that in 11 years. And so since we got that polygon system 11 years ago, that has been refined. And so the beauty of it is we include the folks who are involved in a tornado warning, and we leave out 90% of the county that is not involved. It's a great system. And again, the only call to action for Covington County at this point is for areas near Opine along US Highway 331 just to the north of Opp. So again, Andalusia, Florala, Opp, Green Bay, Red Oak, which is right here, Pleasant Home, Wing. You are okay, all right? The severe weather risk has come to an end for all of those places, minus the tiny community of Opine in Covington County. Back over to LD1 we go, please. Excuse me, LD, there we go, that's the right one, thank you. And let's see if we can switch over to the Eglin Air Force Base site. We had a data problem with the Eglin site earlier. The National Weather Service sent out a message saying that the level 2 data was not being disseminated. There we go. And actually, I think that's an old frame, if I'm not mistaken. Let's actually go to KEOX over here in southeast Alabama and get kind of a better vantage point. Because again, once you start getting into this part of Alabama, this belongs to NWS Tallahassee. They're the ones responsible for issuing tornado warnings once you cross into Coffee and Geneva counties. So again, possible tornado is right there near Opp, just to the north of Opp. Again, if you're in Opp, you're fine. No issues in terms of tornado warnings for Opp at this point, but if you are just to the north of Opp, near Opine and Eota, south of Eota, along US Highway 331, stay in that tornado safe place, and I promise, in a matter of about 5 minutes max, I'll be able to get, in fact, you know what, just as I say that, the tornado warning has officially been canceled. So we are without a tornado warning as of 6:16 p.m. And what I want to do is go back to our other local radar, the Mobile site, and kind of do a broad reset before we say goodbye. Now, we're going to talk about what's happening out there right now, but let me stress this on the front end too. I've had 14 questions today about the S word. Do we know what the S word is? It's snow, all right? We're going to talk about the snow potential or lack thereof in an update in about, say, 2 hours, all right? We're going to do another video and we will talk about it, but I'll go ahead and give you a spoiler alert. Unfortunately, there is no snow in our 7-day forecast. We've had several questions about these smartphone apps displaying snow icons for next week, but look, you know, there is no snow in the forecast. Now, I'm not against snow, but we just don't have the system in place for snow in the upcoming week, even though some models hinted at that. It has been a model possibility, but at this point, unfortunately, it looks like it's going to be all rain. If that changes, of course, we'll let you know. We will talk about that in about 2 hours in another video. But again, out there right now, what's going on? Very heavy rain extends from the eastern side of our region out here near Covington County in that storm that was formerly tornado warned back down here into Okaloosa and Santa Rosa counties. In fact, very heavy rain happening at Navarre, moving into Mary Esther, areas near Wright and Fort Walton Beach, and ultimately Destin in about 10 minutes. So if you're at Destin, perhaps you're about to travel over the Mid-Bay Bridge up to Niceville. The bridge was closed for about a week. It's now reopened. And if you're about to travel on Mid-Bay Bridge north or southbound, please understand that heavy rain and gusty winds up to 40 miles per hour out there on Choctawhatchee Bay could happen very shortly. Again, we are without any tornado or severe thunderstorm warnings as of 6:18 p.m. Go back over to LD1. The only warning that we have out there at this time is this flash flood warning for northern Clark County, and I think it's on the board for the next 30 minutes or so. Let's click it and see. 8 o'clock, I apologize. So we've actually got about an hour and a half left on this flash flood warning for Thomasville, for Tallahassee Springs, Chilton, Simcoe, Woods Bluff, Campbell, back down to Silas in Choctaw County. So that is the only warning that we have on the board, a flash flood warning. And I am cautiously optimistic, go back over to LD2, that we will not have any more warnings with this system. The only place that could even remotely have a warning at this point in terms of a convective tornado or severe thunderstorm warning is down here in Okaloosa County, and you can clearly see why. That line of storms is pushing through. Go back over to the iPad. Let's look at this because this signature is showing some indication of strong winds. And you've got Crestview right here. This is the I-10 corridor that connects Crestview ultimately down to Pace and Milton. This is going to be the Florida State Highway 4 corridor right here. And right in through here at the Blackwater River State Forest and areas near Baker, which sits right there, down to Milligan. Very strong winds, perhaps upwards of 40 and 50 miles per hour may be happening. And so what that means is if you are near Crestview, anywhere, say, near Antioch Road or out here near the Country Club in Crestview, strong winds are about to move in a matter of moments. And we're going to have to watch that and see if it goes severe. It doesn't look tornadic. There's nothing to suggest a couplet right there. But I do think that with that signature, I wouldn't put it past the Weather Service to issue a severe thunderstorm warning with that over the next few minutes. Go back over to LD2 as we wind things down here. Again, here's the deal. Heavy rain and storms have moved through over the last few hours. We had a tornado warning. You can see it right there over the last hour in parts of central Covington County. It's the first tornado warning we've had in 2019, and it was for central Covington County. At this point, current time is 6:20 p.m. Because the tornado warning was canceled, we have no active convective warnings on the board. If we happen to have another tornado warning, it's going to be down here in Okaloosa County, and be sure to check the RedZone weather app. We've been giving all clear messages all afternoon. Once again, behind the main line of storms, when you're behind this line, as most of our area is, you will get an all clear. On behalf of all of us at RedZone Group LLC, I'm Spinks Megginson saying goodbye for now. Thanks so much to Bruce Thompson for his service this evening doing our executive producing work. More updates in the RedZone weather app. And yes, we are going to talk about the lack of snow potential next week in about an hour in another video. See you then.